Let there be two things known. One, I filmed an intro and it sucked booty. Two,
in like the beginning of the video for a while, I have like hair sticking out, and to be honest, I'm too lazy to redo that. I'm really considering doing it though. No. I have an appointment soon. I'm leaving something out. Intro. Hi YouTube, it's Maya, and I am back with another video, and it's in celebration of my first Accutane video reaching 10,000 views. Long time I've been wanting to do a recap of what has been going on post Accutane the second time, and I wanted to answer your questions. These questions have come from comments I've received, emails I have received, and just day-to-day questions like people in my life and friends and acquaintances have asked me. So stay tuned. Hope you like it. Wow, I have a lot of energy. I feel like I should just refilm it. Am I gonna do it? I'm gonna do it. I don't have time. Okay, this is good because I need to do this really fast.
First question, does Accutane help with scarring? And this was a person who upped their dosage and was having another breakout, and it was really painful and looked like it was scarring, so it was very discouraging. The answer is yes, and this goes along with the question of initial breakouts. And everyone, when they go on Accutane, they go through this initial breakout and it seems like things are getting worse and it's doing the opposite of what it should, but that's exactly what it should be doing. And if you don't go through an initial breakout, that's less common, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get bad results. It's just that most people go through an initial breakout where everything's inflamed and your body's just kind of purging itself of like all your bad oils and dirts and like acne. That did worry me too, but it's completely normal. And yes, Accutane does help with scarring. I don't know if it would necessarily help with the scarring that leaves indentations in your skin. I don't think it would necessarily reverse that, but it does help with kind of surface scarring where there's red scarring or brown scarring spots on your face. It does take care of those with time. First it deals with the actual bumps and the actual acne, and then towards the end is when the scarring starts to disappear because your skin is having time to breathe. It's never really experienced that. There's always new acne popping up on the surface and it never has time to heal, and that's all it really needs. Next question, what is iPledge and why did you have to take monthly pregnancy tests and blood tests? So iPledge is
an FDA program, and it makes sure that women cannot get pregnant while they are on Accutane, because I think it is nearly 100% of the time that if you do get pregnant, your child will have some sort of deformity. So iPledge is just like iPledge that I will have safe sex, things like that. And before you can get your new prescription every month, you need to fill out a questionnaire on iPledge on a website first, and then it sends info to your pharmacy saying, okay, here's the green light, you're good to go to give it to this patient. Questions include things like, do you have to take 1 or 2 forms of contraceptive while on Accutane? And it's 2, like an oral contraceptive like birth control and maybe like male latex condoms, which is the second form, like a barrier form. So you have to take 2. Also, can you donate blood while you're on Accutane? No, and you have to wait in a month after you finish Accutane as well. Questions like, here's a scenario, you're on Accutane, you want to have sex, but you don't have a condom. Boom, what do you do? And you just go through a questionnaire. There's probably like 10 questions or so.
And blood test is because Accutane can spike your levels of cholesterol, lipids, triglycerides, and these are all kind of in the same family, kind of a little bit. Because my dad has diabetes, I have always been kind of borderline with cholesterol, lipids, triglycerides. That is always something that's going to be problematic for me, and I just have to be aware that health problems like diabetes could be in my future, or just like really serious cholesterol problems. So at one point my cholesterol levels or my triglycerides, I forget which one, was like 3 times what it should be, and it was very dangerous. And my doctor was, I know you don't want to stop, so we either lower your dosage or I put you on cholesterol pills, which generally older people take. So knowing me, I was like, we are not going lower, everything's going so great, besides the fact that I could have a heart attack, so let's take cholesterol pills. And so she prescribed me simvastatin, and it worked really well.
The thing is, I tried for a couple months where I was on this like great diet where I was drinking only water, eating like mainly salads and vegetables, and I was really cutting carbs out of my life, which is really hard because I love carbs. And even then, my cholesterol and triglycerides levels only went down a little. And so that's when you know your body has this problem without you having any influence on it. It's just the way it is. Because no matter how hard you work, you might work out and you might do all these great things and it barely helps. Sometimes you can't help that your body needs maybe cholesterol pills.
Next question. I was surprised to know that you were on 80 milligrams and were on 60 milligrams in the first month. Isn't that a lot? This question, the person didn't realize that it was my second time around on Accutane and we were starting where we left off. And secondly, as I said in my video, the plan was to start where we left off and then for a couple months start going down actually. So we wanted to taper off. And if you've watched my videos, you know about that. So we went 60, we went to my highest 80, and then towards the end we went 60 and then down to 40, just to try to see, maybe because we cut off on Accutane last time, that's why my body just reacted and like I really broke out. So maybe this will help. I still ended up breaking out, but that's a whole nother story. Question, did you notice any hair loss / shedding while taking Accutane? Definitely, and the craziest thing was both times it started 2 weeks in. I would have this burning sensation on my head, my body would be itching all over, and then my hair would start falling. But it was fairly temporary where it was very extreme because I would start drinking much more water. I would use shampoo and conditioner to protect damaged hair and shedding and things like that. And I was also taking vitamin E supplements. So with time, the shedding and hair loss became less extreme. But it's so funny because actually not too long ago I started feeling like these baby hairs sprouting on my head and I was like, I've never had baby hairs like this before, like I don't understand. And I was like touching it and it was a lot, and then I started thinking about it and I was like, oh my god, my hair is finally growing back. And it was like actually a lot of hairs just sticking out. I was like, oh my god, it's crazy, like thank god, but I lost a lot of hair. Next question. I am not as sensitive to sunlight and I don't have the itchiness like I did in the first week. Did this happen for you? So definitely, itchiness did subside a little bit. The second week, it was just like my body was on fire, and that did not last the whole time, thankfully. But my body was still, of course, the whole time very dry, because that's what Accutane does to you. It's just drying out from the inside. And in reference to sensitivity to light, that is also pretty common. The good thing is it only happened to me a couple of times where it was really bad. One time I was like outside of the mall with my family, and it's like that experience where you're in bed and it's really dark and then someone tries to wake you up and opens all the windows and you're like flashed with like bright lights and you're going blind for like a second. It was like that before like a longer period of time. I started getting a migraine and I just had to sit down because I was like disoriented, and that was kind of scary, but luckily it only happened a couple times. Next question, did you also find that your face would get really red by the sun and you would get a temporary sunburn that would only last a couple of hours? Yes. I didn't really get temporary sunburns, but that's because I protected my face like crazy with sunscreen and I stayed inside like a vampire. Accutane makes your skin very, very sensitive. That's why I do not suggest to like
exfoliate too much or to put unnecessary ointments, because Accutane will do that job for you, and you don't want to irritate your skin because it's very sensitive and raw when you're on Accutane. And the one thing I really suggest is to put on sunscreen that's at least 30 SPF or above. I still, even off of Accutane, I still take at like 60 SPF sunscreen. That's just me, but I find that it really helps, and it's totally normal to have a really red face when you're on Accutane.
Next question, how long ago were you on your first round? How bad was your breakout before you decided to do it again? Do you have to take the full course again this time? So this was when I was taking Accutane the second time. I was on my first round for 6 months, and I think it was like 4 or 5 months later that I decided to go on my second round, because at 2 months my skin started breaking out, and then from there it progressively got worse. And I kid you not, I actually believe my skin was worse than it was before I started Accutane. So that's why I went on a second time, and for my second time I did take it for 6 months as well. Last and final question, I'm starting Accutane and I'm so nervous. How was your general experience? Now, I understand that a lot of viewers would believe that because of how Accutane didn't work for me as it does other people, because of the fact that I broke out and my acne returned both times, I understand that that would make people expect that I did not have a good experience with it, but overall I appreciate this experience, and if I had to go back in time and do it again, I would do it with 110% confidence. Being said, because I know what side effects I went through and what I can handle, but also because, one, my back acne never returned, and that was actually something that was really bad, and I tend to forget about that and just focus on my face. And then also, you know, prescriptions that I'm using now, because I am taking prescriptions, that's why my skin is good again. It was upsetting because I took Accutane so that I didn't have to take prescriptions anymore, but I think that the reason why these prescriptions work now and they didn't before Accutane is because of the fact I took Accutane. So I'm really grateful that I was able to take it, even though I had to take it twice.
Yeah? They want to soak the rest of your red chicken, so come out and help me load it. I have to go for my appointment.
Second disclaimer, it has been 4 hours since I left and I look like crappy. And I know my neck looks a different color from my head. My body's kind of a weird shade right now because I just got tan and it's like that weird color. I'll fix it. As I was saying, I do not regret taking Accutane, aside from the very, very dry skin, the chapped lips, the hair falling out, and the horrible back pain. I would consider myself lucky. Sometimes, yes, I do get jealous of watching people on YouTube talk about their experience post-Accutane 1 year later and their skin looks pristine, because I only get 2 months after Accutane for it to say like that. But either way, I am a different case. Every person is a different case when it comes to Accutane, and I will take what has been given to me and I am grateful for it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and it's like all these other people have asked me questions through comments, through emails. You can do just the same. Too cool for school.